What if what you're feeling in your heart right now wasn't just a simple attachment? What if these recurring thoughts, this inner peace when you think of this person, these subtle signs that only your heart seems to understand, were actually a message from Allah? No, it's not a coincidence. It's not just emotion. There are feelings that come with such clarity that they seem guided from above. What if Allah was slowly but surely confirming to you that this person you can no longer ignore is your kingdom spouse, the one He has chosen to write your future with you? In this video, we will explore the spiritual signs, the deep feelings, and the silent answers that Allah sends you when the person written for you may already be there. Stay until the end, because every word could be the confirmation your heart has been waiting for so long. 1. The silent signs of Qadr. You feel something, but you don't know how to explain it. It's not loud, it's not urgent, it's subtle, but it's there. And despite the silence, your heart hears perfectly. Because there are things only the soul can understand, things that language cannot translate. Emotions that don't come from you, but that descend upon you like an invisible mercy. When Allah wants to bring you closer to the person He has chosen to walk by your side, He doesn't create turmoil. He doesn't throw your heart into a storm. He places within you an unusual gentleness, a tranquility that seeks nothing but Allah in that person. You don't feel this toxic need to control, to force, or to prove anything. You don't feel this fear of being abandoned or misunderstood. On the contrary, you feel an inner security. You feel that your soul isn't being shaken, it's calmed. And this calm isn't the fruit of attachment, it's the fruit of guidance. Because when Allah wants to attach you to something blessed, He doesn't create chaos around it. He creates clarity. He doesn't confuse what He wants to grant you. He sends you emotional stability, a sense of peace that doesn't depend on the other person's response, but stems from the certainty that your heart is guided by Him. This is where many go wrong. They expect butterflies, thrills, and bright, noisy emotions. But Allah speaks to the heart differently. He doesn't dazzle you with fleeting passion. He anchors you in a silent clarity. He allows you to see this person without idealizing them, without getting carried away, but by understanding them at the level of their soul. You are not addicted. You are not dependent. You are serene. And this serenity is powerful proof. For Allah does not place peace in something that will destroy you. He does not make you feel soothed by something that will lead you to sin or misguidance. So if you feel this, if you have this calm in your chest when you think of him or her, if this face reminds you of your most sincere supplications, if this presence, even distant, doesn't disturb your faith but strengthens your steadfastness, perhaps it's not just a persistent thought. Perhaps it's not just someone. Perhaps it's a silent sign of Qadr, a divine reminder that this heart doesn't beat randomly, that it's been pulled in a direction that has been written for ages. A reminder that what you feel may be the invisible language between Allah and your soul. And perhaps the very fact that you're here, listening to these words, trying to understand what you feel, it's proof that Qadr is already in motion, silent, but real. 2. When dua becomes the answer. You got up in the night. When all was asleep, you were awake, hands raised, a fragile heart. You cried without words sometimes, only with the intention. You asked Allah to enlighten you, to not let yourself love what wasn't meant for you. You said, "O Allah, if he or she is good for my faith, my future, and my heart, bring him or her closer. And if not, keep him or her away." And yet ever since, you can't break free. But it's not an addiction. It's not a carnal obsession. It's a constant reminder, a thought that returns every time you clear your mind,
every time you rise in your worship. It's as if your heart maintains a subtle connection with this person, an invisible but pure connection, like a gentle voice in your soul, speaking not of possession, but of patience, not of haste, but of promise. You must know this. Allah never forgets a sincere dua, not a single one, even the one you said between sighs, even the one you uttered in a moment of exhaustion, when you no longer had the strength to explain. And sometimes Allah doesn't respond by showing you the person. He responds by aligning your heart. You look around and everything seems silent. But within you, there is an echo that never fades, a subtle peace that ignites each time this person returns to your thoughts. And this is where many get lost. They want spectacular signs, clear dreams, visible miracles. But Allah sometimes responds by attuning your heart to a name, by filling your chest with a special sweetness at the mention of a soul. It's not that you're weak. It's not that you're naive. It's that your prayer may already be answered. And this person you feel so strongly about, they may not yet be by your side, but they may already be in your qadr. And what you feel is not an illusion. It's the invisible trace of your own supplication. You prayed with your heart. And Allah, in His wisdom, did not respond with a sound, but with an alignment. Your heart finding peace is no accident. Your heart returning to her or him through prayer, not sin. Your heart remembering this person every time you draw closer to Allah. All these are answers wrapped in divine tenderness. Because sometimes Allah responds by preparing your soul to receive what it has asked for. And this time of waiting, this strange calm, this unique persistence, it is the sacred prelude to a destiny woven in the invisible. You don't see it yet, but Allah, He already traces the path, and your heart is walking on it.
3. Love within the boundaries of halal. You want to know if it's him. You want to know if it's her. You want to know if this person is the one. So ask yourself one real question. What does this love make of you? Does it bring you back to Allah? Or does it take you away from Him? Does it push you to be better in silence? Or does it encourage you to disobey in the shadows? When Allah allows feelings to arise in your heart, these feelings are never there to break what He has commanded you to respect. They are not there to erase the boundaries between halal and haram. They are not there to justify indefinite waiting, unclear relationships, secret messages, emotions hidden from others but not from Allah. The true kingdom spouse is not the one who makes you lose your mind. It's the one who strengthens your righteousness, because the love that Allah allows is a love that grows through restraint, not haste. A love that respects the stages, not rushes through them. A love that pushes you to nikah, not to nostalgia or illusion. And if you really want to know if this person is aligned with your qadr, observe. Do you have to break boundaries to keep them? Do you have to sacrifice your modesty, your time, your inner peace? Do you have to hide your bond from your loved ones, your conscience, your Lord? If so, then it's not a sign, it's a test. But if, on the contrary, your love teaches you patience, if it inspires you to do things in order, if it makes you want to pray for this person instead of possessing them, then maybe it's not just attraction. It might be an answer, a reminder that sincere love isn't displayed in likes and stories, but is built in the silence of supplications. A love that doesn't seek to date, but to sanctify itself through commitment. Understand this: true love, in Islam, is never an open door to the forbidden. It's a driving force that elevates you, a lever that pushes you to purify your intention, to become better in the hope of deserving this person. And that's where the difference becomes clear. When it's just a crush, you want to see it. You want to talk to him. You want to feel loved. But when she might be your kingdom spouse, you want to correct yourself. You want to elevate yourself. You want to please Allah with the way you handle these feelings. Love isn't haram. What is the way you use it to circumvent sacred laws. But when Allah gives you pure love, you feel it doesn't lead you astray. You feel it invites you to build, not to consume. So now look carefully. Does this love make you more pious? Does it encourage you to perform istikhara, to seek advice, to draw closer to your family, to lay solid foundations? Or does it exhaust you, frustrate you, and make you doubt your own faith? If Allah gives you clear feelings, they are never there to replace your values. They are there to confirm them. Because the true kingdom spouse, it's not the one who dazzles you temporarily, it's the one who builds you for eternity. 4. When doubts fade away, there was a time when your heart was a battlefield. You spent nights trying to understand. You scrolled through conversations, analyzed silences, prayed, then doubted again. You looked to the sky, hoping for a sign, a direction. But deep down, everything was foggy. You were lost between desire and fear, between what you wanted and what you dreaded. Then this person entered your life, not with spectacular promises, not with written declarations meant to impress, but with a silent presence that calmed something inside you. Subhanallah. You don't know how, but everything slowed down. You were no longer running, you were receiving. You were no longer asking, is this him or is this her? You looked at your heart and it was no longer trembling, it was at peace. You no longer needed to force things. The signs were no longer hidden. They came to you naturally. A word spoken at the right time, a respectful attitude without you having to ask for it, an ease you'd never experienced with anyone else, a feeling of inner security you couldn't even explain. And you remembered, Allah doesn't always send lightning bolts to answer you. Sometimes He just clears the clouds. And in that sudden clarity, you realize this wasn't supposed to be complicated. It's not that you didn't have feelings for others before, but this time, the feelings are guided, not disordered. There's no drama, no confusion, no games, just consistency in actions, honesty in intentions, and gentleness in exchanges. And then you feel a silent certainty, not fireworks, an inner light. Something inside you whispers, this is where you can place your heart without damaging it. What you thought impossible becomes simple. Barriers fall without you having to force it. The answers you sought in books, in videos, in sleepless nights are there, in this person, in this phase, in this piece. And you remember that the heart of the believer recognizes what his soul was waiting for, even if he has gone through storms before. When Allah decides to enlighten you, He doesn't always give you more explanations. He gives you less confusion. You no longer struggle with yourself. You no longer wonder if he or she will abandon you, slow you down, or destroy you. You know. You feel. You understand that it wasn't you who found this person. It was Allah who guided your paths at the right time. And in this quiet certainty, you realize that you are no longer looking for proof, because inner peace is the proof. 5. Divine alignment. Preparation meets promise. What you feel is not accidental. What you experience is not a coincidence. Perhaps it is the meeting of your preparation and Allah's promise. You have cried, you have been patient, you have healed, you have relearned to know yourself, to love Allah more than your desires, to detach yourself from what kept you from your fitrah. And now your heart feels something new, something deep, something pure. It is no longer an attraction that extinguishes your light. It is a connection that intensifies it. You no longer need to convince, to run, to beg for love, because this time you are aligned. Your heart is open,
but it is also guarded. And what you feel is like nothing else. It's not an uncontrollable fire. It's a constant warmth that doesn't consume you. It builds you. Do you know why you're ready now? Because you no longer want someone to fill a void. You want someone who shares your mission. You're no longer passively waiting. You're actively trusting. You're no longer just hoping for love. You want a partner for sabr, tawakkul, and growth. And while you thought these feelings would come after marriage, Allah gives them to you beforehand, like a foretaste of His wisdom. Because He knows that your heart is now ready not to idolize this person, but to love them through him. It's no longer just attraction. It's a momentum toward a common goal. It's no longer emotional dependence. It's shared tranquility. And if you look closely, everything has fallen into place. The timing, the discussions, the maturity you didn't have before, the clarity you once lacked. You understand now that it wasn't a rejection from Allah when you waited. It was a construction. He was building you for this moment. He was building your heart to recognize the obvious when it came. And now, you no longer have to force love. It's aligned. You no longer have to prove your worth. It shines. You no longer have to hope to be loved in a healthy way. You already are without having to distort yourself. Perhaps through this ease, this peace, this stability, Allah is telling you, this is what I prepared while you thought I was silent. You've spent years asking Allah not to let you choose someone because of your impatience. And now, today, you feel this feeling. Not too intense, but deep. Not too noisy, but constant. Not chaotic, but stable. Perhaps this is Allah's discreet yes. When your inner preparation meets His outward promise, when your private efforts meet His visible decree, when your heart, instead of doubting, begins to give thanks, then you no longer need to question yourself so much, because the silence before wasn't a no, it was a not yet. And today may be the now you've been waiting for without even realizing it. You feel it now, don't you? This sensation that everything you experience, everything you feel, is not trivial. If Allah has guided you this far, it's not for nothing. Perhaps, at this very moment, He is preparing you to recognize what He has always written for you. So if this message resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Share this light with someone who needs it. Leave a comment from the heart. Perhaps it will spark something beautiful for another believer. And above all, subscribe. Because here, every word, every video is an invitation to reconnect with what Allah truly wants for you. Your heart is guided. Now listen to it. The rest, Allah will take care of it.